Welcome to Wheelchair Basketball. It's fast, fun and inclusive. And today, I'm going to be taking you through some of the basics of how you can get involved in the sport.
Hello, my name is Zviko. I am a wheelchair basketball coach. I coach at club level and I also coach as part of the Pathway team. I've been coaching basketball since 2015. I love it. I enjoy it. Before we go into movements in wheelchair basketball, let's just get into some of the rules. Just like the running game, wheelchair basketball is primarily won by scoring more than the opposition in the opposition's hoop. There is no differences in terms of court size, in terms of the size of the basketball hoops or anything else. All wheelchair basketball players have to do is adapt to the same conditions. Wheelchair basketball is played as a 5v5 game, but you also have the variation of the 3v3. Primarily for this conversation, we're going to be talking about the 5v5. Because wheelchair basketball is a disability sport, we try and make it as balanced as possible, which means that there's a classification system that is used from 1 to 5 points, 1 being less able in terms of movement. Each team is allowed 5 players on court, and overall we have to balance that with up to 14.5 points per team, and that's for the higher divisions. And then the other divisions, it's up to 16 points. As you will notice soon, the game is fast-paced and it's very competitive. We are going to demonstrate some of the fundamental movements around the sport. In wheelchair basketball, the fundamental equipment for the sport is always going to be a wheelchair. These are specially designed chairs, allowing you to stay in the chair, and one of the telling points is always strapping. You're going to have to be strapped in the chair, you're going to have to be tight, and you're going to have to be comfortable. Now that we are safe in the chair, now we're going to move on to basically moving the chair movements that involves just taking off the chair. So your first push is stopping the chair, turning the chair, and just general control of the chair. So to stop your chair, obviously because you're pushing with your hands and you want to balance your body and you want to grip with both arms, lean back and just pull on the wheels. And that's how you get to stop your chair. Now we're going to move into dribbling the ball. Remember the rule that we explained earlier, that you can only push the chair twice before you dribble the ball. So basically in wheelchair basketball, when we're explaining it as coaches, it's 2 pushes, 1 bounce, 2 pushes, 1 bounce. From what I've seen with wheelchair basketball players, they are much more creative in terms of passing, because sometimes you are having to be aware of size differences, speed, matching the speed with the chair, and general just timing. It's always about timing the pass and getting it accurate to the player. So you got your bounce passes, your chest passes, and your hook passes. remember when I said you're passing to different sizes and different players. So if you're passing to your forwards, you want the ball as high as possible so they can catch it, so you're giving them the loop passes. If you're passing to a lower point player, most of the time, a bounce pass is going to be the best pass, as it's going to go straight in their lap. They can maintain control of their chair and be able to move straight out there with the control. What you don't want is to pass them the ball that's going to destabilize them out of the chair, grab the ball, and then try and recover before they start pushing. Just like we explained earlier, in terms of shooting, we're all shooting on the same height as the running game. And there's no adjustments made, there's no accommodations made for wheelchair basketball players. We're still shooting from the same three-point line, we're still shooting from the same free throw line. The only key thing to consider there is that you're having to make adjustments because you're shooting from a lower position. I wish we could find dunks in there, but we can't do dunking. But I can promise you there is some exciting shooting techniques that you are going to find in wheelchair basketball. So we are going to start with the basic free throw shot. What we are looking at now is them just a stable core and elbows pointing to the basket, correct shooting technique, and basically they're just gonna send it. Shooting around and inside the key from an outside shot perspective, again, just like a free throw, is all about control. However, when you're around the basket, you could be in motion and everything, so that becomes all about timing, ready to shoot, and just maintaining as much control. Shoot the ball with making sure you're not hitting anyone's chair, and just maintaining control all around. You're going to see variations. Some people would prefer to go straight to basket. So what I'm talking about is straight to the hoop. Some will use the backboard where the ball bounces off the backboard and drops into the hoop. What you find is you get a lot of layups and you get a lot of variations, and depending on your abilities, the basic one is where you go overhead, but when you get a little bit more advanced, you start getting the finger rolls. Hopefully you guys are interested in joining the sport, and if you're interested, there's always clubs around willing and ready to take new players. And if you've got any family members that want to find out more about wheelchair basketball, please visit the website.